Mother of my 13-year-old daughter just abandoned her at my doorstep when I was out on a business trip. She said she doesn't need her anymore and wants to start fresh. My daughter was crying outside for 10 hours, and I won't let this slide. I'm very angry, so this is going to be a bit of a rant. My daughter's mom and I were young and only dating when she got pregnant with our daughter. We broke up and decided to co-parent. I would spend weekends and holidays with my daughter, which was honestly upsetting. I wish I got to spend more time with her growing up. My daughter, who is now 13, started staying with me more after her mom married her now husband a few months ago. My daughter would always tell me her stepdad doesn't like her that much. I would try and ask questions about what she meant by that. She would say he wouldn't hurt her or anything, he just doesn't like her. She would tell me she didn't want to talk about it, so I wouldn't push. Well, I was away on a business trip and didn't get home until 1 a.m. to find my daughter sitting on the porch with about 4 packed bags. I was so confused and angry seeing my 13-year-old daughter sitting out there in the middle of the night. Turns out my ex found out she was pregnant and her husband insisted they don't need my daughter around anymore because they have their own family. That he never wanted a kid in his home who wasn't related to him anyway, so it's a perfect time to start fresh with their own family. Instead of the ex sticking up for our daughter, she agreed and made daughter pack and dropped her off in my place. Ex didn't tell me and my daughter's phone was dead, so my poor baby was sitting outside alone for 10 hours. I am so mad my ex would do this, and I feel so bad for my daughter. She's absolutely heartbroken. Relevant comments. I can't believe a mother would do this. Shame on her. Your daughter will probably never forgive her. I'm glad she has you. Opie. Thank you. I can't believe she would do this to her daughter. It would be very unlikely if she forgave her mom. I can tell it was such a traumatizing experience for her. My baby was shaking from anxiety so bad when I finally got home, and it was clear she had been and was crying. Wouldn't be surprised if she had a panic or anxiety attack. Comment. Call the police for child abandonment. What your ex did is vile but should also be illegal. Now consult an attorney and get full legal custody of your child, and try to get her into some therapy, please. So sorry, your ex is a poor excuse of a mother. Your daughter deserves so much better. Opie. I called the police last night. Luckily, I know a good family law attorney and definitely plan on getting her into therapy soon. My poor girl wasn't doing well at all last night when I found her, and I feel so bad I wasn't home to prevent some of the damage done. I couldn't imagine how she was feeling while alone waiting for me. It's so scary, especially when it was late at night and my poor girl was alone outside with an uncharged phone at 13. Comment. Along with what everyone else has said, please make a copy of your house key for your daughter. She is old enough to have one, and being locked out of the house is really traumatic, and I think that would help reassure her. Opie. Definitely. I never thought she needed one before, but now I really wish I gave her one just so she had it. I also think it'll help reassure her to have one, so thank you for this comment. Comment. The worst part is that your ex didn't even have the decency to notify you, so you could be there sooner for your daughter. I hope this woman will now stay away from your daughter so she cannot do any more damage. Opie. Yeah, or I could have gotten my parents or siblings to go pick her up until I could get back home. I was out of the state, so I had to fly home. I don't plan on letting her around my daughter, and I don't think my daughter will want to be around her mom for a while anyway. Update. Hey everyone, a kind of small but also big update from my post yesterday. My ex and her husband got arrested. Each got a charge of child abandonment and child neglect. We got lucky, and a nearby neighbor's camera footage caught them dropping off my daughter and quickly driving off my daughter, clearly heartbroken. We also got neighbor camera footage of my daughter sitting outside by herself. I am currently in touch with an attorney who is hopefully going to help me and my daughter get justice for everything that happened. For people wondering how my daughter is doing, mentally and emotionally not well, which is to be expected. I have been trying to reassure her she is safe and didn't do anything wrong, as well as giving her lots of hugs and reassuring her that I love her. I got in touch with her school and they were able to point me in the best direction for a therapist, and she'll start therapy later next week. Relevant comment. How are your relationships with your neighbors? I guess I'm asking how a neighbor could see your daughter sitting on the porch crying for 10 hours and not ask her where you were. Why she's sitting on the porch with her bags and not being let inside. If she was alright or needed help. Opie. I know the ones who had camera footage who I actually know weren't home. I just happened to ask and they looked back and found the footage. Others I'm unsure about. It's easy to look away or turn a blind eye and decide not to get involved.